wanna think it. Am I really the one you need? Desperate times running around, chasing each other down. Is this really what I think it is? Is this really what I think it is? Am I really the one you need? Desperate times running around, chasing each other down. Is this really what I think it is?
Hello and welcome back. It is time for Dust 2 between Vichy Gaming and Boot. So some nice deagle shots from Boot on Cash, but it wasn't enough to take the map. It was taken by Vichy. And I think that Vichy, they're looking like the stronger team over both halves. So I think that Boot, in terms of decision making, can they get their plays in the right place on Boot's CT side to deal with VG's T side? Looking at the game of Cash, I do wonder. I think it will be a simpler affair on Dust 2, so perhaps we will see a stronger Boot in that regard. I really don't know. All players are on a server. I don't think the knife has taken place just yet. What are your thoughts here, Dan?
I was just told, I didn't realize this, I was just told that DSN, because an old Swedish player for Fnatic in the 1.6 days, very famous player, playing at the top of the game in 1.6, is actually the coach and manager of Boot.
Oh, really?
Who lives in China.
That's cool.
That's cool. Oh, you can see my plate there on the camera. Got some beef stroganoff in there, James. The catering is of such a level that they can furnish beef stroganoff, which is so legit. It's really
pretty good.
Yeah, one of my favorite dishes, in fact.
Catering here is just OP.
Yeah, but that's really good because we were talking previously about some of the challenges of that region, and DSN is absolutely a guy that can bring some real CS know-how to the region. Yeah,
so it is very important to have outside eyes for your team. So they're definitely stepping in the right direction in that regard. The knife is about to take place. We'll see who starts on what side here on Dust 2. If you are just tuning in or whatever, make sure you are following or subscribing if you're on Twitch or YouTube, so you get alerts when we're live. And if you're on YouTube, make sure you hit that bell as well. That was nice.
Is that it?
What else is there?
I don't know. Just double checking.
Oh, shall I make a Monopoly reference that makes no sense? How about that?
Well, you can.
Boots
I don't think
cards.
you need to steal my references that don't make sense. You've got plenty of your own to dispense. So
very good, very good. Boot won the knife. I don't know how much it matters on Dust 2 really.
Yeah, this will be really interesting. I think if judging from some of the shots that we saw from the likes of Bobasaur, if that's anything to judge by, it should be pretty fun, this map from Boot. But you do, I mean, for me, I'm definitely thinking VG should be a good steady hand on this map. They will start on the CT side though, and I feel like, just as they said on the desk, this is a map that can snowball a lot. So you've got to be really cautious about about that. And it can be difficult to prevent it if you have a bad start on the CT side and you start force buying. You're not going to have AWPs. And if you don't have AWPs, your chances to win rounds goes down significantly. And you can get really punished for that pretty hard by the T side. So we'll see the pistol with the Glocks here for Boots come to a head here towards the A site. A split is the name of the game. Freeman caught between two sides here. Allowed a lot of time to take these shots. Looks very patient, but patience will not help him. It'll be apparent that maybe nothing can help him or his team in this round as Fancy will be eliminated and Boots go 1-0. So the worst has happened. That economy game for VG is going to be really, really rough. And I hope they don't force buy because...
Look how quick these frags came in. Look at that. Just like...
Easy.
5 seconds or something. And it's 4v1. Such can be the nature of Dust 2. VG not off to the start they wanted. Boots, happy for now.
I don't know about double scout though. I think that's just I think that's too much.
I agree.
I think it's risky. Scout is not as dynamic and can be high risk as it is, a sniper, and it also will not kill in one shot. Especially as these players have decided to force buy, so you won't be able to get that one-shot potential unless you hit the head, which is difficult with the scout. And we've got creeping through mid. Mid is one of the danger areas when you're playing against a force buy, and a timely flashbang will do the job there. Lovey taking matters into his own hands. That's one of the scouts gone. And Bobasaur committing, and that's a 2-for-1. Or a 1-for-2 if you're VG, and they're loving that. Nice flick shot, but if VG are smart, they're not going to offer anything up here.
And now they have a scout, the CTs, along with their man advantage. So this is weird territory for Boots. That is such an important frag for Benkai. The 5-7, if you fire it fast, who knows what's going on. Headshot from Splash. That will certainly help. These players are not tagged at all, so Lovey with the scout is not going to be as dangerous as he otherwise might be. Another one bites the dust. And Z8Z has nothing really to offer for the remainder of this round with 4 HP. So maybe he'll try and get an upgrade. It's difficult with the ranges if you're not going to buy a rifle to pick the right weapon on the anti-force buy instead of a second scout like an MP7. I mean, maybe Galil, depending on the money.
I think also it really depends on the kind of rounds you want to run. I think, if they run a classic round where, again, I think Team Spirit were a good example of how you can, they had some really good rounds, and a lot of them were based off these long takes. And long is great because you don't have to concern yourself with anything on the, there's no real corners that can be very problematic. You can't really get backstabbed. There's a lot of space for your entire team to move up together and trade together. And one of the things that Spirit did, which was really effective, was they would send a smoke onto short from long, and they would send a smoke onto CT spawn from long. And so that's really good because if you double smoke crossover, there's a lot of potential that the pistols can pop flash through it and do a lot of damage at close range. But the CT smoke is really effective at maximizing the advantage that you have with the rifles when you're in a round like that. So I would like to see that. And this round is not, you don't have to, you can pretty much get away with anything as it's just USPs. So that's why I'm sort of still talking about the potential on that previous round. One of the dangers is when you go middle, because middle you have a bunch of different corners to worry about. You've got the two close angles by the doors. You have the CT angle on the right, and then you have also the angles on the left, and also there's a lot of potential for pop flash plays if the CTs hear noise around middle. And that's sort of exactly what we heard. And that, doesn't sound as alluring as the prospect of just taking long with some nades, which the CTs can't really do anything about, and then just, playing through long, which, everyone can play together and you're minimizing risks. You don't really need to find a pick when you're against pistols. You just need to find ways to get positioning onto a bomb site. So moving into the current round, we've got the fast play into B. This is a shot and ore, and it might just work out. Shoking is in a position to slow it down, and in fact, they'll abandon the push, and that's fine. They've got a 1-for-1. So you don't have to commit to your initial game plan. The situation has changed. They were moving into an unfavorable position, and they realized it, and they pressed the big red stop button, and they've managed to now sort of open things up by taking position around the map. So leaving someone in dark is useful to prevent any CTs pushing, and having control on short is also useful because now they know that there's no one on short. So that eliminates some of the positions that you can potentially expect CTs. Now, if you have short and you've got 2 players, you've got nades, there's always the potential to take long. And then, of course, impression can sort of help them to split onto the A site. And so it does look like that's what they're going for. And again, they can smoke CT from long. I don't know if they know that smoke, but and Fancy, it's big play. Big play from Fancy. Very big play. Able to take down Bulbasaur. And 40 seconds remain, and they have to go with Impression's push, and he won't get it now. So will they go towards B here? They don't have a smoke. If they had a smoke for the cross, this could still be a very strong round, but they have to cross it with no smoke. And the double peek works out, but you can see that there's just so much coverage here, long range from the CTs. It's just not going to be all that successful. Such a shame they didn't have a smoke there. But, you know, to be fair, it was their plan C at that point, so you can't blame them for not having utility at that stage of the round. So 3-1, or 1-3 I should say, as VG just won that last round, and their money's still not very good. Some damage was done in that round. And the AWP is out again here. Splash key on that one.
You saw they did not want to sacrifice a smoke grenade in middle to cross and use a flashbang instead. As a smoke